Seated.
100. I was fast enough to run the two.
We find our way to our seats.
Kept gaining speed. Oh, one. But it's like kind of already running.
That's fine.
You double trouble. It's like background noise. Yeah. Background music. And you can get all into it. Same time.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the December meeting of the LCTCS Board of Supervisors. Thank you for joining us today. Before we begin, I would like to remind you that the board meeting is being live streamed.
Good morning. I'd like to call the December 3rd, 2025 LCTCS Board of Supervisors meeting to order. I'd ask Supervisor Williams, would you please lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item is I will invite Mr. Graham Ryan to administer the oath of office to the new board members, J.P. Kelly, Duke Lowry, Virginia Robinson, and Roe Wilkinson.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of this state, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform the duties incumbent upon me as a member of the Board of Supervisors for the Community and Technical College System, according to the best of my ability and understanding. So help me God. Congratulations.
Okay, a little bit about our new supervisors. First, Supervisor J.P. Kelly is a veteran educator and entrepreneur with 28 years of experience serving Louisiana students. He's worked as a teacher, coach, administrator, athletic director, and advancement director throughout his educational career. He also is co-founder of I2 Tickets, a Louisiana-based technology company that serves more than 80 schools statewide. He's a graduate of Catholic High School in Baton Rouge, holds a BA from LSU, earned a master's degree in sports administration from the University of Southern Mississippi. He's also married to his wife, Alicia, for 27 years, and they have 3 children, Peter, Libby, and Patrick. Next, Supervisor Duke Lowry is a lifelong resident of Bossier Parish and a devoted family man, married to Kara Harridge Lowry, and father of 3 children, a retired firefighter and paramedic with 5 science degrees from LSU Eunice. He's also built a long-standing entrepreneurial career as co-owner of Acadiana Mortgage, Acadiana Energy, and Acadiana Farms. He currently serves as chairman of the Bossier Parish Republican Party and has been a delegate to the last 4 Republican National Conventions. He contributes greatly to the boards and organizations throughout the region. Next is Supervisor Virginia Robinson. She's a native of Abbeville, Louisiana, who now lives in Gonzales with her husband, Michael, and their 2 children. Shaped early on by strong commitment to family and entrepreneurial spirit, a deep sense of civic duty, she developed a lasting appreciation for education. After earning degrees in history, English, and religious studies from LSU, and completing her teacher certification at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, she began her career in the Lafayette Parish School System, where she embraced innovative approaches to improve student outcomes. She now leads NOLA Education Curriculum and Education Services team, working to advance hands-on, real-world learning and uphold the company's strong reputation in transforming education. Last, Supervisor Roe Wilkinson is an experienced education and business leader with more than 2 decades of work strengthening connections among Louisiana schools, communities, and industry to support workforce and economic development. A Louisiana Tech graduate and a resident of Madisonville, he brings a deep understanding of the state's educational landscape and a strong commitment to public service. Supervisor Wilkinson also serves on the board of directors of Tefuncta Country Club and enjoys spending time fishing and golfing with his wife and 2 children. At this time, I would give the opportunity for each of our new board members to say a few words, beginning with Supervisor Kelly.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to serve the community and technical colleges, serve a vital role in our community. I'm excited to learn from the board and everybody here, and I'll help in any way I can. Thank you very much.
Next, Supervisor Lowry.
Yeah, I am grateful to be given the opportunity to serve. I appreciate Governor Landry giving me that opportunity. I wanted to compliment this board and Ms. Erica on the organization that I've seen so far. It's outstanding, and I haven't seen that in too many boards as organized as this is.
Thank you. Supervisor Robinson.
In their organization, but the true warmth and genuine welcoming that we've received in the last couple of months or weeks. I understand and take very heavily the responsibilities and the honor that's been given for me to serve with this people and this community. So thank you, and I look forward to the next few years.
And Supervisor Wilkinson.
I want to echo what everybody just said. Thank Governor Landry and Chairman Party for this opportunity, and working all of you on the hard work we're doing across the state with the community college system.
Thank you all so very much. This is always so exciting. You know, I'm not going to speak for Governor Landry, but typically there are appointments because of what you've already accomplished and what he sees in you to help this board. All of you have the ability to be leaders. And I look forward to working with you in the future. This is an exciting time with what's happening in Louisiana. So welcome aboard, and thank you so much for your service. At this time, I will ask Ms. Pula, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. I would be happy to do so. Chair Hardy
Present.
is present. Supervisor Smith is present. Supervisor Ellis is absent. Supervisor Butler McIntyre is present. Supervisor Hall is present. Supervisor Hogan is present. Supervisor Hollins is present. Supervisor Kelly is present. Supervisor Lowry is present. Supervisor McConduit is absent. Supervisor Moody is present. Supervisor Mount is present. Supervisor Price is absent. Supervisor Robinson is present. Supervisor Wilkinson
Present.
is present. Supervisor Beltran is absent. Supervisor Williams is present. And at this time, Chair, we do have a quorum for this meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Poole. Has there been any requests for public comment related to one of the enumerated agenda items on today's meeting agenda? This is a reminder that public comment must be related to a specific agenda item.
No, sir, we do not have any public comments.
Thank you. At this time, I request a motion to approve the December 3rd, 2025 meeting agenda.
Motion by Supervisor Mount, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Objections? Hearing none, motion carries. This time, I request a motion to approve the October 8th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion by Supervisor Hollins, seconded by Supervisor Butler McIntyre.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, is there any opposition? Hearing none, that motion carries. This time, I present the consent agenda items for consideration by the board.
And I'll read the recommendations. Staff recommends that the board approve the consent agenda item, which consists of agenda items H1 through H4.
Can I get a motion
You're
from
at the recommendation.
Supervisor Hall, seconded by Supervisor Smith? And at this time, Chair, I would like to note 1013 arrival for Supervisor McConduit.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. At this time, I will provide the following report. First, on the ACCT Leadership Congress that took place in New Orleans. I've got to say, this was an outstanding event. The governor had committed some time back that he would appear at the opening session. That opening session turned out to be on the same day as the first day of the special session. He kept his commitment. Barreled down the interstate with the SUVs around him, and made it there and knocked it out of the park. I thought he did an outstanding job. And as I understand, it was one of the first times, and maybe the first time, a governor has spoken at an ACCT conference. But now others are trying to see if they can get their governors to do it. So we're very, very honored that Governor Landry did that. I thought the Congress was a huge success. We had about 1,800 attendees. I don't remember, and I've been dealing with ACCT for a while. I don't remember when there has been an event with 1,800 attendees. We ordered wonderful weather. We had tremendous meetings. They enjoyed the cuisine and the whole scene in New Orleans. I want to give a special thanks to Chancellors June, Chancellor Taylor, and Chancellor Smith, who attended, and some presenters who were Chancellor June, Taylor, and Supervisor Moody, who was on a tight schedule with things going on in his family and his business, but he still made it down and did a tremendous presentation. So all went very, very well. I will say that I hesitantly allowed my name to be placed in nomination to be voted onto the executive committee. I did not campaign as I should have, but for some reason, I still prevailed and won. So I'm now back on the ACCT Executive Committee. For those of you who don't know what ACCT is, it is the organization that represents, probably 6,500 trustees, both appointed and elected from all over the country, representing more than 1,200 community colleges. I will tell you that in the time I've been associated with ACCT, it has absolutely made me become a better board member. Every time I think I know all that it takes to be a good board member, I go to a governance leadership institute and I find out that I don't know as much as I thought I knew. So I think it's a tremendous organization. We already have many members of this board that are attending conferences. Supervisor Hogan is rising in the ranks of ACCT already, working with one of the regions, the Southern region. Supervisor Mount is also cherished throughout ACCT. So I'm going to encourage board members to be familiar with the organization. I think it's outstanding because it's lesson learned. We learn from trustees from all over the country. There aren't many things that you run across at ACCT that won't rear its head somewhere along the way, and I think it's an outstanding opportunity for us to get to meet others who are similarly situated all over the United States. Also, the governance committee of the board is tasked with nominating the board leadership per the Board of Supervisors bylaws. With the resignation of Supervisor Toops as second vice chair, there is a need to appoint a new second vice chair for the remaining term. As such, I have spoken with Supervisor Willie Mount, Chair of Governance Committee, and she will handle this duty and will bring the recommended nominations from the Governance Committee to the board at the February 2026 meeting. That concludes my report. At this time, I will have Dr. LaBeouf provide the president's report.
Great. Thank you, Chair Hardy. Last meeting, we recognized one of our own at Delgado Community College as the 2025 Poet Laureate for the state of Louisiana. Today, we've brought that individual here to be formally recognized and say a few words. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Gina Ferreira, the 2025 Poet Laureate for the state of Louisiana, along with Chancellor Stibe, to the table.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Chairman Hardy and members of the board, and welcome to our new board members. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be with you this morning. Chairman Hardy, you mentioned that our governor was the first for ACCT. Well, he's the first in this regard as well, because the governor has appointed Gina Ferreira as the Poet Laureate for the state of Louisiana. This is a big deal because it's a community college, right? And a community college receiving this type of recognition, a community college receiving this type of honor of one of our own is outstanding. So you may ask, what is a poet laureate? What does that mean for Louisiana? And that's why I brought Gina with me today, so that she could explain exactly what that means and what an honor it is to have our own to be named this for the next 2 years.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much to Chancellor Stibe and to Delgado. I will say Delgado has been over the moon about this. And so I thank you, Delgado, for your support. The Poet Laureate is appointed by the governor. It's a 2-year appointment. The governor, it's actually done through the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities. And basically, the Poet Laureate promotes poetry throughout the state. And so that's the gist of what a Poet Laureate does. Maybe we'll do workshops, readings, kind of in every corner of the state. So that's basically my function.
Are there questions or comments from board members? Well, let me say congratulations. I think that's a tremendous honor.
Thank you.
And again, one of our own. Thank you so very much.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, Chair Hardy. I'll give an update on the colleges. So starting with Suella Technical Community College, Suella was able to secure its 12% match of the $3.3 million for the new Lamar Salter campus in Leesville that will be built as part of the Act 35 legislation. Over at Bossier Parish Community College, at the inaugural Caring Campus Conference last month, the college was honored with the prestigious Heart of the Community Award, recognizing its outstanding dedication to cultivating a campus culture rooted in care, connection, and belonging. And they received a $25,000 contribution for Expand Energy for scholarships for students pursuing degrees in industrial engineering, technology, advanced welding, oil and gas as well. Over at Nunez Community College on October 29, 2025, 2025. They hosted their annual trunk or treat event where they welcomed over 3,000 guests from the community on campus. They also won the 2-year Program of Practice Award at the Louisiana Association of Colleges and Universities Student Personnel Administrators Conference. Congratulations to Chancellor Tenney, Dr. April Laverne, Dean of Strategic Enrollment and Student Success, and Natalie Hanford, Director of Student Success, for their success. Nunez also had other award winners at the same conference. Student Success Coach Megan Trainer was presented with the Outstanding Mid-Level 2-Year Professional Award, and Office Manager Emily Sherwood was presented with the Rising 2-Year Professional Award. And the Student Government Association, Troy Sino, was presented with the 2-Year Student Leader Award. In addition to leading Nunez's SGA, Troy was elected by his peers as the Vice Chair of Louisiana Council of Student Body Presidents in May. Solis CC, has been named the Aspen Institute among the top 200 eligible for the $1 million Aspen Prize, and is also a national finalist for the 2026 Bellwether Award for its Campus Advisory Board model. These distinctions highlight Solis CC's strong student outcomes, workforce impact, and deep community partnerships. At Central Louisiana Technical Community College, the Aspen Institute also named their institution for the 3rd consecutive nomination period as one of the top community colleges in the United States, making the school eligible to compete for the $1 million 2027 Aspen Prize Award. At BRCC, they've received a $252,000 grant from the Wilson Foundation for their Pathways to Success, Reentry Education, and Reintegration Prison Initiative. At Northwest Louisiana Technical Community College, they've successfully attained reaccreditation through the ATME Association of Technology Management and Applied Engineering for its Industrial Instrumentation Electrician program. And also, they've received $15,000 from Southwestern Electrical Power Company, SWEPCO, to help strengthen the program and connect students for career opportunities in the region. And at North Shore Technical Community College, they completed their successful SACS COC Prison Education Program visit, receiving no recommendations from the accreditation team. This marks a milestone in reaffirming their institution's effectiveness in strengthening the accreditation towards those that will allow for Pell Grants to access these programs. Additionally, North Shore has honored by the St. Tammany Chamber as the recipient of the 2025 Innovation Award, recognizing the college's leadership and workforce development, community partnerships, and creative program delivery across the North Shore region. Again, congratulations to our institutions. We know they're doing great work. And back to you, Chair Hardy.
Thank you very much. Let me just say, congratulations to our chancellors, faculty, and staff. These accomplishments for all you do, I just think it's absolutely outstanding. Thank you again. I think they deserve a round of applause. This time, Supervisor Hollins, are you prepared to present the academic action items for consideration by the board?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, at this time,
Please proceed.
we'll call up Dr. Wendy Palermo to give an accreditation update.
Good morning, Chair Hardy, Dr. LaBeouf, and members of the board. This update is for informational purposes only. I'm just going to share with you, we're in the final stretches of the SACS COC accreditation process for Northwest Louisiana Technical Community College, with Chancellor Spillers and her team working tirelessly to ensure the institution is fully prepared. Just as a reminder, the on-site visit is scheduled from March 2nd to the 6th in 2026. While the college would have an initial sense of the outcome at the conclusion of the visit, the official decision will be made at the SACS COC June meeting, which concludes after our June board meeting. So as a result, Dr. Spillers will share the official announcement at the August 2026 board meeting. Now, this is short, but it concludes my update. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them and/or call up Dr. Spillers.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So even though she won't report it till August, how will we get the good news as soon as y'all have it?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yes. In the report, we will have a sense, Chair, amount of how it will go, and I'm sure it will be communicated to you immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, that agenda item was for information only. Moving to agenda item number K2, awarding of the degree posthumously to Baton Rouge Community College student Christina Martinez in compliance with LCTCS policy number 1.001. Dr. Amy Cable, would you please read the staff recommendation and tell us a little bit about Christina?
So LCTCS recognizes the importance of honoring our students whose academic progress and commitment to their educational goals were cut short by an unexpected loss. And so per LCTCS policy 1.001, institutions may recommend the awarding of a degree posthumously to acknowledge a student's work, dedication, and connection to the community college. The student is with Baton Rouge Community College. Her name was Christine Martinez, and she was a dedicated student and aspiring construction professional who balanced her studies while working at MMR and raising her daughter, Mia. A native resident of Bruley, Louisiana, Christine was known for her determination, warmth, and commitment to her family. Her professors and classmates recall her as an engaged learner whose academic achievements and goals reflected BRCC's mission. And to that end, staff recommends that the board approve the posthumous conferral of the Associate of Applied Science in Construction Management to Christine Martinez, who passed away on September 16, 2025. Ms. Martinez was enrolled at Baton Rouge Community College and would have completed all remaining degree requirements by the end of the current term. Ms. Martinez meets all three conditions set forth in LCTCS policy 1.001 for consideration of posthumous degree conferral.
Recommendation has been read to confer this degree according to policy number 1.001. Do I have a second? A motion.
I have a motion by Supervisor Mount and seconded by Supervisor McConduit.
At the time now, I'll entertain discussion, but as we entertain discussion, I'll just ask for a moment of silence for Ms. Martinez. Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. All right, moving on to agenda item number K.3, revision of LCTCS policy number 1.033, strategic enrollment management. Dr. Cable.
Yes, sir. So LCTCS policy 1.033 outlines the framework for strategic enrollment management. The policy has been evaluated, and we are making some changes to better align the policy with evolving enrollment trends and institutional responsibilities. This policy was submitted at the last board meeting for review and advisement. Staff recommends that the board approve the attached revisions to LCTCS policy 1.033, strategic enrollment management.
The staff recommendation has been read to approve the revisions. Is there a motion?
Motion by Supervisor Butler McIntyre, seconded by Supervisor McConduit.
Is there any discussion on that motion? Any objection to that motion? Hearing none, the motion carries. Finally, agenda item number K.4, revision to the LCTCS policy number 2.003, campus safety and hazing. Dr. Cable.
Okay. Act 174 of the 2025 regular legislative session increased the required hazing prevention training from 1 hour to 2 hours for members and prospective members of student organizations, and it added a provision that operations of student organizations that fail to comply shall be terminated. This policy was also submitted at the last board meeting for review and advisement. Staff recommends that the board approve the attached revisions to LCTCS policy 2.003, campus safety and hazing.
Staff has recommended that we approve. Oh, yeah. That's all good. The staff has recommended that we approve the attached revisions to LCTCS policy number 2.003. Is there a motion to accept the staff?
Motion by Supervisor Butler McIntyre, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
Any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hear none, so move. Chair Hardy, I turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Supervisor Hollins.
Thank you.
Next, Supervisor Smith, are you prepared to present the facilities action items for consideration by the board.
Sir, ready to go. The first one is dealing with naming rights for North Shore Technical Community College. Como?
Yes, good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, Chair Hardy, Dr. LaBeouf, members. First item we have is from North Shore Technical Community College to designate an area of the administration building at the Sullivan campus in honor of Mrs. Deborah Taylor. A little bit of background on Mrs. Taylor. She began her tenure as a Sullivan campus as the assistant director in 1979. In 1980, she was appointed assistant campus dean on a full-time basis, becoming the first African-American woman to hold such a position within the LCTCS. During her tenure, Mrs. Taylor demonstrated exemplary leadership in developing and implementing instructional programs designed to meet the workforce needs of local area businesses and industries. She also played a pivotal role in the campus's recovery following Hurricane Katrina, and she was instrumental in supporting the organization and alignment of the Louisiana Technical College Region 9. After 33 years of dedicated service, she retired from the LTC in Bogalusa in February of 2008. This naming request complies with both system and college policies related to naming. And the fiscal impact is limited to the cost of the signage, which will be funded by the college and or the North Shore College Enhancement Foundation.
Good.
Okay.
Did you read the whole recommendation? Do we?
No, I'm gonna read it right. Do you have any
Very good.
questions? Okay.
Yep.
Staff recommends that the board authorize North Shore Technical Community College to rename the administration office suite at the NTCC Sullivan campus in honor of Mrs. Deborah Taylor in recognition of her distinguished service and lasting contributions to the college. The newly designated area of the administration building will be named the Deborah Taylor Administration Suite.
Very good. We've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Mount, seconded by Supervisor Hall.
We've got a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on this item? Sounds like a wonderful honor for one of our very own. Okay. If there's no questions or hear any objections? Hearing none, that motion carries. Okay, we'll move on to the next one, which is dealing with a lease agreement for Northwest Technical Community College. Toby?
Yeah, so this is a little different than we normally would do a lease or a CEA agreement. We're requesting a blanket approval for Northwest Louisiana Technical Community College. This is specifically for Building E, which is a facility on the Shreveport campus. It's a 72,000 square foot facility that's fallen into significant disrepair. The building requires extensive renovations, including full roof replacement, HVAC system replacement, and numerous additional repairs to restore it to a usable condition. Shreveport campus will be part of Act 35 and the new bond program, so there will be some significant investment on site. And this is an attempt to still use the facility without having to sink some of those additional funds into it to make it usable. A local nonprofit organization, Shreveport Citizens United, has reached out and expressed interest in leasing the facility. SCU is a community-based citizen-led initiative focused on improving neighborhoods and reducing crime. And they are interested in using the facility itself as a training opportunity for at-risk youth who focus on getting hands-on experience in the construction trade. So they actually will use the facility itself as part of their instructional program, as part of what they do. The request is to allow us to have the authority to enter into a CEA or a lease with SEU, or should that not happen, should that fall through, still have the ability to pursue the same type of agreement with another party. It just gives the college the ability to have productive use of the facility while we work on the broader campus development. Happy to answer any questions.
Yep. Any questions before we read the recommendation?
You said it's in significant disrepair. Would the lease be executed as is, or would we have to make those modifications? You mentioned the new roof, the things like that before they enter into the lease.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, the building is as is. So we'll work through language about who's responsible and cost for maintaining it. But it is not, those repairs will not have to take place prior to us entering into this agreement. So, and that was, actually part of the benefit of this is that not having to do that prevents the college from having to take funds from other projects that we're planning. But we will work through some of the language about specifically what work they'll do, what that looks like, but that will not be predicated upon us having to make those investments initially.
I think the only other thing I would add to that is just to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row from a liability standpoint, because if anything were to happen on that campus, if we are going to have other people using it, I just want to make sure that from an insurance and a risk mitigation standpoint, that that's also addressed as well.
Yeah, and we've started those conversations initially as we work through those, through that agreement, and that'll be something we definitely will focus on.
Other questions from other board members on this item? So the idea is we're going to make, some of the details need to be worked out. Did you mention that some of the funds from Act 35 will be allocated to this or will not be?
So Act 35, as it currently stands, will not. So part of those funds may result in improvements to this building or changes to this building or demolition of this building. That will come down the road as we get into 2026 when that program starts to actually be implemented. It will not require anything today from current funds or other maintenance funds that we're already working on campus.
Okay. And then this is going to be done in coordination with the system office as well.
Correct.
We provide some authority here, but this requires coordination between the school and the system office.
Correct.
Or frankly, some level of review.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we're working very closely with the college. We've been working with Dr. Spillers on this for a little bit.
Okay. Okay, I don't think we've had a motion and a second yet, right, Ms. Wilson? We do
We have to
need
read the
to-
recommendation.
I need to read the recommendation real quick.
need a recommendation for sure.
Yes, staff recommends that the board authorize the system president and the chancellor of Northwest Louisiana Technical Community College to negotiate and execute any and all documents necessary to enter into a lease agreement and/or a cooperative endeavor agreement for the use of Building E on the Shreveport campus.
Now we've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Williams, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
It's all about timing at the Board of Supervisors. We got to have everything happen in order, right? We got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, that motion carries. Okay, we're moving on to buying some land for North Shore Technical Community College.
Yes, so this is another project related to Act 35 at North Shore on the Hammond campus. Act 35 authorized the financing of this project. We are currently working with the college and North Oaks Health System on a land donation that will be a part of that campus development. We also are, as part of the agreement with the donation, it's provided an option for the college to purchase an additional tract of land, which is going to be contiguous to the donated parcel. So there's two parcels, one which would be donated, one which the college will have the option to purchase. So this request is the authority to purchase the additional parcel. It's not the donation. We will be bringing back the donation request, hopefully at the next board meeting. We're working with North Oaks right now. So I just want to clarify that. The donated parcel we're looking at is a 15-acre tract of land. The additional parcel to purchase is 19.65 acres. And it's going to provide the ability for the college to expand and modernize in this area. The current campus is landlocked with limited ability to expand. We do intend to use funds allocated through Act 35 to do the purchase. So it'll be a process as we go through that with that program in the new year to get that purchase completed.
Okay, what's the recommendation?
Staff recommends that the board authorize the system president and the chancellor of North Shore Technical Community College to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of property located in Hammond, Louisiana, for the future design and construction of a new Hammond area campus. Upon execution, the transaction shall be properly filed with the local clerk of court and the state land office in accordance with applicable laws and regulations.
Okay, we've heard the staff recommendation. Do we have a motion and second?
And motion by Supervisor Williams, seconded by Supervisor Hollins.
Any further questions for Mr. Como before we move this item? Just a point of clarification, Toby's made reference twice or three times to something called Act 35, just for the new board members. That's some legislation that was passed last year which provides facilities funding for this system. So that's the reference to that bill. We can give you a lot more details on that at another time, but that's, we've got some money coming through some recent legislation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any objections? Hearing none, that motion carries. The next one is item 8. We're going to demolish some buildings in Thibodeau.
Yes, sir. This is a request for the demolition of 2 buildings at the Thibodeau campus for Fletcher Technical Community College. Both of these buildings are over 40 years old, and in a state of some disrepair. One building is used for storage and maintenance purposes, while the other serves as a location currently for the Work Ready U training program. The buildings are approximately 1,400 square feet and 3,992 square feet in size, respectively. We are currently working with Fletcher in conjunction with the Lafourche Parish government on a community development block grant, disaster recovery grant in the total of $15.8 million for new construction and renovation at the Thibodeau campus. This request just starts the ball rolling on the demolition. It has to be approved through the facility planning and control. So we want to make sure we got this moving so we weren't any kind of slowdown on the back end with approvals. For that, we're currently working with Lafourche Parish government, having those conversations, and hope to be moving on that very, very quickly.
Good. I'll read the recommendation.
Staff recommends that the board authorize the system president and the chancellor of Fletcher Technical Community College to complete all necessary requirements and execute all documents related to the demolition of 2 buildings at the Thibodeau campus. Final approval for these demolitions must be obtained from the Office of Facility Planning and Control.
For the recommendation, do we have a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Butler McIntyre and seconded by Supervisor Robinson.
Okay, any further discussion on this item? Any objection? Hearing none, that motion carries. Next one is acceptance of a donation for Central Louisiana Technical Community College.
Yes, sir. This is a request for the Central Louisiana Technical Community College to accept the donation of an existing building in Alexandria, Louisiana from the Coughlin Saunders Foundation. It's a property that has an appraised value of $360,000. The college intends to utilize this facility to support the expansion of some programming in the area. It'll enhance their ability to serve students and employees in Central Louisiana. The appraised value, as I said, is $360,000. There's no immediate acquisition costs at this time. Any future operational or renovation that's going to be necessary, we'll address that with the college at that time.
Good. I'll read the recommendation.
Staff recommends that the board accept the donation of an existing building located at 1107 4th Street, Alexandria, Louisiana, the Coughlin Saunders Foundation through the CLTCC Foundation for the benefit of Central Louisiana Technical Community College, and authorize the system president and the chancellor of the college to complete all requirements and execute all documents necessary for this transfer. Conveyance documents for the transfer of this property must be filed with the local clerk of courts and the state land office.
Okay, we've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion and second?
Motion by Supervisor Lowry, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
Got a motion and second. Any questions?
I-
Yes, ma'am.
It's on this motion, but it's also relative to 7 and 8, and it's more of a, not a question, but more of a request for in the future.
Sure.
I think it's great that we are getting buildings donated, that we are demolishing buildings to rebuild, and we are purchasing property to build and construct new facilities. That's wonderful. I think I want to make sure that there is the demand and that we are projecting that we'll have the population of students to then occupy it, because as you stated in this motion, you know, we'll deal with the facility renovations potentially and things like that down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these facilities come with maintenance costs and potential renovation costs, and I just want to make sure that we're being prudent, that we have the student population base or the anticipated growth at the college to support the need for all of this expansion, and that we have a plan for the maintenance and the construction or whatever modifications are necessary for all of these new buildings.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. And we've spent a lot of time, especially the last year, focused on the issue of deferred maintenance, right? I mean, that's come up. There's a fund for it. We've been working with the legislature to fund that ongoing. Operational costs as part of that. That has grown, right? As we've talked about all these new initiatives. I will say we work really closely with the colleges, and I think that I don't think we bring something that doesn't have some sort of plan or idea already built in at the college level. They could speak to that a little bit more than I can. But I do know that the property acquisitions, the construction, the purchases, I think those are all built upon an understanding of how you can fund it. And I don't think that there are any at this point that would come into the fold essentially without a plan to keep those
Yeah,
up.
I just want to just put a pin in it
Absolutely.
because, you know, a lot of this is forecasting enrollment and growth and
Right.
things like that. So perhaps in the future, just maybe we can just touch on those things when we're bringing these forward because this, like I said, I'm all for growth. It's really exciting to see all of these new modernizations coming online, but we just want to make sure that the plan is thoroughly vetted and that we will actually not, you know, get ourselves in a bind in the future.
Yeah, and I will point out too, just a couple of ongoing things that we are doing in that regard. So annually, we do look at space utilization. We report that to the Board of Regents. There is an ongoing, it actually just started a statewide facility assessment has been funded from the Board of Regents. So part of that is looking at a return on basically a return on property assets. So we will have much more detailed data and metrics regarding facility health, facility usage, capital planning in the next year. And so I think that is something that it happens. I think seeing it in a different way, we'll have the ability to do that, working really closely with our colleges on that right now. But that is something I think in the future, we will definitely be able to bring some of that.
And I'll just make the comment too, from the enrollment and finance standpoint. If you remember, last board meeting, we approved that policy where now from forecasting, the enrollment teams and the finance teams have to come together for forecasting. So we'll be able to show that data moving forward as well.
Any other questions from board members on this item? I do have one particular for this one. So where is this located, I guess, either Mr. Sawtelle or Ms. Poole? Is it close? I mean, close, we have what, 2 different places downtown. Is it close to one of them? Very good. Okay, did we we had a motion and a second. Is there any
Yes.
objection to this motion? Hearing none, this motion carries. So I believe that's all of the facilities actions, Mr. Chairman, if I've added up correctly.
Thank you, Supervisor Smith. At this time, Supervisor Butler McIntyre, are you prepared to present the finance action items for consideration by the board?
Before item 10, first item for finance, cooperative endeavor agreement between Central Louisiana Technical Community College and BDI Data Link LLC.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Chair Hardy and members of the board. This item is a cooperative endeavor agreement that Central has had for some time with BDI Data Link. It's basically a contract for them to provide fiber training to the area, non-credit fiber training. Fiber training in and of itself is somewhat of a specialized skill set that is continually changing and developing. So in many cases, our colleges with these types of programs and offerings will have endeavors with third-party providers who they themselves, because of business and industry, are abreast of the latest technologies and so forth. So this is basically an extension of an agreement that they've had for 2 years with this company for a price tag, but basically the tuition generated will go to them for $342,500, and the contract is from January 1 of 26 to December 31st of 26. If there are no questions, I'll read the recommendation. Staff recommends that the board approve the cooperative endeavor agreement, CEA, between Central Louisiana Technical Community College and BDI Data Link LLC effective January 1, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. The CEA is subject to the approval of the Office of State Procurement.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation coming from staff. What is your pleasure by a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Hollins, seconded by Supervisor Robinson. Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Objection? Seeing none, that motion carries. Ready for number 11?
Yes, ma'am.
Revisions to LCTCS policy number 5.025, institutional aid.
Correct. And just a little backstory to policies in general for new members and existing members. All policies that come before the board go through a 2-meeting cycle. The first meeting, they normally will hear it for for advisement to intake it, hold it for a month or two, and then at the subsequent meeting, the board takes action on that policy. This policy has already gone before the board for review and advisement at the previous meeting. It's being brought to this board today for action. It relates to institutional aid that our colleges give their students. It's a policy we've had for some time now. And over time, questions were raised by the CFOs with regards to exactly what is aid, what is not aid, how do you calculate the aid, on what basis do you calculate this 10% threshold and so forth. So we basically hammered those out, got everything in a pretty good spot, and are bringing it to the board again for action to finalize this policy. As such, staff recommends that the board approve the attached revisions to LCTCS policy 5.025, institutional aid.
There a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Mount, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
Any discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion carries. Ready for number 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Patient reimbursements to or on behalf of employees.
Correct. A little background, there are statutes in the state that pertain to the allowance of on-behalf payments to employees by third-party nonprofit foundations and otherwise. That threshold is $1,000, which may seem low, but it's in statute. So any payment above $1,000 requires you, the board, to take action on it. In many of these cases, these are reimbursements for things that either faculty, instructors, in some cases, some of the coaches have paid on behalf of a group of students. For example, when they go on an event and they need to, something comes up, they can't call the college and CFO and say, hey, cut me a check when it's a Saturday night or whatever it may be. So they pay out of pocket. This is to get reimbursed for those. As such, staff recommends the board approve the foundation reimbursements presented as required by LCTCS policy 5.029, supportive system and college endeavors, and LCTCS policy 5.017, LCTCS policy on foundations.
You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Hogan and seconded by Supervisor Moody.
Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, the motion passes. Mr. Chair, that concludes the report from Finance. Back to you.
Thank you, Supervisor McIntyre. At this time, Supervisor McConduit, are you prepared to present the information technology item for consideration by the board?
Absolutely. As Vice Chair of the Information Technology Committee, I move to suspend the rules allowing for information technology item K13 to be considered for action instead of review and advisement. Are there any objections to that? Great. As a result, hearing no objection, information technology item K13 will be considered for action. All right.
Yes, ma'am. I can take the item. Bring it up. So IT policies, you hardly ever see them, but we do have a few. This is probably the 7th or 8th one we have had as a system since our inception, whereas most policies, HR, finance, and others are like in the 20s and the 30s. This came about as a result of need in the state. For years now, this state and business and industry in general have always or have been consistently under various threats and attacks ransomware, and whatnot. The latest concern now relates to the use of AI. It's the bold new frontier that everybody wants to play in. And we need to do something about it to the extent that even Governor Jeff Landry issued 2 executive orders on this issue. The first one came out sometime in September. Then 30 days later, another one came out actually making it more restrictive. Again, it's just a concern that as AI develops as a platform, there's more interest in it. And with that, you need to have some guidelines and rules in place, because AI, while it can be very beneficial, can have unintended consequences, particularly if it's being used with personal identifiable information, which is the main focus of this. But even aside from that, there are some risks associated with downloading third-party AI platforms onto your desktops and whatnot that can lead to some very serious issues related to operations. So what this does is, as a foray into a policy related to AI, it's very broad and general as a system AI policy itself, and I'm sure there will be other updates that will be brought to the board as things progress in this field as it is developing before our eyes. But in essence, what it creates is a structure, a governing structure at each college and at the system level to basically inventory all AI platforms that are currently in existence at our colleges. There are very few, but they're there. Places some restrictions on what can be done and what shouldn't be done, and provides a framework for training also of all individuals related to the use of AI. It's one of those things when you tell somebody they can't do something, what do they want? They want to do it. So in this case, we want to make sure that when people are engaged or trying to engage with AI, that they understand what the policy does, how that fits into the framework of the college operations, and training on it, just as we do with phishing and other types of things on a continual basis going forward. While this policy is meant to be enacted now, it's not saying that only from this point forward. What we're having to do is actually stop and look back at what's out there currently. And so that's why in the policy recommendation, there's a January 15th date listed requiring all colleges to report to the system office on any AI platforms that are being used. Any questions?
Quick question. So
Yes.
you say AI platforms being used. Do you mean used by the employees of the colleges? Do you mean used by students as part of, like, who's using?
Right. Both, actually, because there are dangers to both. And the fact that you even use it with best intentions, you have to validate that data. The policy requires that you have to validate, and it's not just looking at it going, yeah, that looks good, and you kind of pass it on. You actually have to go through to validate the outcomes. AI is a useful tool, but it doesn't relinquish your responsibility to check it and make sure that it's accurate. Because as we all know, AI can do what they call hallucinations, where they paint a story that may not actually be true. So it's all platforms, all students, whether it's labs, in the offices. It's kind of putting I hate to say a lockdown on it, but it is. It has to be regulated.
We also need to consider third party people that are doing business.
Yes, correct.
They're now using vendors to get into systems.
Correct. And this policy also addresses that. So it's very broad, but in that sense, it's not only applicable to the college, but it's any vendors they may do business with as well.
You mentioned the January 15th deadline, and this talks about establishing a committee that you already kind of got the wheels moving on the committee.
Preliminarily, we have it started, but it's going to be something that we're going to have to move on fairly quickly, and I'll be engaging the colleges actually at a meeting Thursday to start that process with the CFOs, and obviously the chancellors will be part of that as well, because AI is not an IT. I don't mean to say that it's not an IT function. IT, I always tell people, IT is almost like the artillery. They will launch the projectile, but you got to tell it where to go. This is a broader issue that could involve anybody from student affairs, because obviously there are federal laws related to privacy issues with student information. There's HIPAA laws related to employee information. So I don't want this to be an IT staff-driven endeavor. This should be people involved with student affairs, HR offices, faculty as well, where needed.
Procurement.
Definitely, definitely. There are no further questions. I'll read the recommendation. Staff recommends that the board approve the proposed new LCTCS policy 7.009, use of artificial intelligence AI platforms, and require colleges in compliance with the policy to submit to the board office a list of vetted and approved AI platforms in use no later than January 15th, 2026.
You have heard the staff recommendation for the new LCTCS policy number 7.009. Can I have a motion and a second?
Motion by Supervisor Holland, seconded by Supervisor Mount.
Any additional questions, concerns? If none, that motion carries. Chair Hardy, it's back to you.
Thank you. Supervisor Mount, are you prepared to present the governance items for consideration by the board?
Yes, Chair. This is item 14, revisions to LCTCS Board Standing and External Committee appointments. The Governor's Committee, pursuant to its authority under the board bylaws, recommends the revisions to the standing committees for the remaining term of 2025-2026 as detailed in the attached document, Standing and External Committee Appointments of the LCTC Board of Supervisors. Because this motion comes directly from the Governance Committee, there's no need for a second. With that said, those all in favor of approving the recommendation say yes.
Yeah.
All opposed say no. Hearing no objection, the motion carries. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. This time Supervisor McIntyre presents the personnel action items for consideration by the board.
Toby, we are ready. Item 15. Revisions to LCTCS policy number 6.028, holidays for all employees.
Yes, so this is a policy that was brought to the last board meeting for review and advisement. So today we're bringing it back for formal approval. And it deals with holidays for employees and the changes to the policy. It's being revised to clearly state allowable holidays for all employees, including 9-month faculty. There was some confusion about what holidays a 9-month faculty would be entitled to after when they essentially weren't employed, the months they weren't employed. So this policy clarifies only for holidays while you're employed.
Recommendation.
Now, staff recommends that the board approve the attached revisions to LCTCS policy number 6.028, holidays for all employees.
For the
Motion by-
recommendation, is there a motion and second?
Yes, motion by Supervisor Williams, seconded by Supervisor Smith.
Any discussion? Objections? Hearing none, the motion carries. At this time, I'd like to request a motion to enter into executive session to discuss items K16 through K19.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Supervisor Mount, seconded by Supervisor Smith.
Any?
And I'll do a roll call vote
Roll call.
before we enter. Okay, Chair Hardy,
Yes.
Supervisor Smith? Yes. Supervisor Butler McIntyre?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Hall?
Yes.
Supervisor Hogan? Yes. Supervisor Hollins?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Kelly? Yes. Supervisor Lowry? Yes. Supervisor McConduit? Yes. Supervisor Moody?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Mount?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Robinson? Yes. Supervisor Wilkinson?
Yes.
And Supervisor Williams? Okay, we have all yeses and we're ready for executive session.
I know,
Got
right?
me-
On the live stream, yeah.
Cause it's not like the old ones where it was push to talk. It's
Yeah.
like always on. Too much. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Go.
Detroit tomorrow, so get ready for Detroit. Yeah, that will. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Detroit and go to DC. No.
You think?
Yeah.
There you go.
Good plan. That's a good point.
President, Ms. Fu, could you do a roll call to reestablish the quorum?
Yes, sir, I would be happy to do so. Chair Hardy
Yes.
is present. Supervisor Smith is present. Supervisor Butler McIntyre is present. Supervisor Hall
Present.
is present. Supervisor Hogan is present. Supervisor Hollins
Present.
is present. Supervisor Kelly is present. Supervisor Lowry
Present.
is present. Supervisor McConduit
Here.
is present. Supervisor Moody
Present.
is present. Supervisor Mount
Present.
is present. Supervisor Robinson
Present.
is present. Supervisor Wilkinson
Present.
is present. Supervisor Williams is present. We do have an established quorum, Chair Hardy.
Okay, at this time, we've reconvened the meeting and state that no votes were taken and no consensus was reached during executive session. I will turn it back over to you, Supervisor Butler McIntyre.
Supervisor, if you'll just pull your microphone. Oh, it's okay.
I keep forgetting about putting this mic down. I'm told I'm to eat it, so I will eat it. We will continue with personnel action at this time. Number 16 is pending and potential litigation. There is no action needed to be taken. It was for information only. So we will move now to number 17, LCTCS Chancellor Contract Recommendations. Toby, we ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay.
So currently we have 3 chancellors that have contracts that end December 31st, 2026. According to the current contracts, LCTCS must notify them 1 year in advance of their end date as to whether the LCTCS will continue their contracts. Each of these chancellors received a satisfactory evaluation, and each evaluation has a statement indicating their intent to recommend the extension of the contract. Okay. Staff recommends that the board approve 3 additional years to Chancellors James Jim Carlson, Jada Spillers, and Quentin Taylor's current contracts. This will result in contract end dates of December 31st, 2029. All other terms of their contracts will remain the same, including their current compensation packages.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Yes, motion by Supervisor Holland, seconded by Supervisor McConduit.
Discussion. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion passed. We are now at item 18, LCTCS System President Contract Recommendation.
So I'll read the recommendation here. Staff recommends that the board ratify the terms of the contract agreement between LCTCS President Monty Sullivan and the LCTCS Board of Supervisors related to the retirement of Dr. Sullivan to be effective January 31st, 2026.
Motion by Supervisor Smith and a second by Supervisor Mount.
Is there any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, that motion carries. Thank you, Toby. I will turn this now over for item 19 to Chair Hardy.
Thank you, Supervisor Butler McIntyre. This time we'll take up appointment of LCTCS President. Recommendation is as follows. Recommend to the board to appoint Mr. Richard Nelson as President of Louisiana Community and Technical College System with an annual employment contract effective January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2028. That further recommends a fair and equitable president compensation package consisting of an annual base salary of $400,000, a housing allowance of $45,000, an automobile allowance of $25,000, an employer-sponsored deferred compensation package of $20,000 for a total compensation package of $490,000. There's a recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion by Supervisor Smith, seconded by Supervisor Hall.
It's been moved and seconded. This time, I will ask for a roll call vote.
Yes, sir, I would be happy to do so. Chair Hardy?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Smith? Yes. Supervisor Butler McIntyre?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Hall?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Hollins?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Kelly? Yes. Supervisor Lowry?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor McConduit?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Moody?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Mount?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Robinson? Yes. Supervisor Wilkinson?
Yes.
Yes. Supervisor Williams? Yes. And Chair Hardy, we have a unanimous yes from the board.
Before we go further, I'd like to read a little bit about Mr. Nelson. He has a tremendous resume, but I will read a shortened version. He's a Louisiana native, respected leader. He brings broad experience in leadership. After graduating from the LSU Law Center, he joined the Foreign Service of U.S. Department of State as Security Engineering Officer and Diplomat. During his career in the State Department, Mr. Nelson earned several awards, including the Meritorious Honor Award, the Superior Honor Award in December 2017. Mr. Nelson resigned from the State Department and began consulting work. He launched his own consulting company in 2020. He was elected to the Louisiana House of Representatives on November 16, 2019, and was sworn into office on January 13, 2020. In 2024, Governor Jeff Landry appointed Mr. Nelson to serve as Secretary of the Department of Revenue. At this time, I'd like to welcome into the room the President of the Louisiana Community and Technical College System. For your vote, Mr. Richard Nelson. Nelson, I invite you to the table to make some comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So they told me I only had an hour and a half to address you. So I hope y'all, sorry, lunch is in there, so it'll be a little bit quicker. So Richard Nelson, I have, spent the last few years of my life in the service of the state of Louisiana. I have really appreciated the time that I've spent, first in the legislature and then currently as a Secretary of the Department of Revenue. First off, I'd like to thank all of you for putting your faith in me to lead this wonderful system. I've always been a supporter of this, both in the legislature and, to the extent that I could in the current administration. I really think that the mission of this system is one of the most honorable in the state, and I think one of the most impactful that we can have in the future of the state. I'm really honored, especially at this time, because I really do think this is a very critical time, both for the state of Louisiana, now that we have a plethora of economic opportunity that is pouring into the state every day. And I was happy to be part of making that happen. At the same time, I joke, we we were in the gator catching business. Now we got to be in the gator skinning business. And that's really what this system does, is to make those economic development projects a reality. And I think this is the best place to do that. I do think as far as the impact that this system can have on the individual people in Louisiana, I don't know that it is, there's any system or there's any organization in the state that can have the impact on the individual people across the state and on every level that this system has. And that's why I was really excited when this opportunity came up. I'll tell you, I have kind of had as I think the chair read, I have kind of a hodgepodge of a bio. I've been a lot of different things. And I think that gives a great experience, just having worked in the federal government, having worked now in multiple levels of state government, having worked in the private sector. I kind of bring a different perspective to solving problems. And I'll tell you, my dad once told me, he said, Richard, this state has intractable problems, and I don't know why you want to fix them all. And my son was there, and he told me, Grandpa, my dad solves problems. That's what he does. I'm happy to walk into this job without, I think, a significant amount of problems, but I think it's really just a significant number of opportunities to really address the future of higher education. I think that's a challenge that's being addressed across the country. It's not just in Louisiana, but Louisiana does have the opportunity with the significant economic development that's coming here to really take advantage of that. I think to leverage us for the future and to really have be in a great position to really build our state where we want to be. One of the things I've railed about forever was, Louisiana being at the bottom of all these lists, right? That was one of the things when I had the ability to campaign across the state. Everybody says, why is Louisiana at the bottom of these lists when we have all these resources? I think our people are probably one of the best resources that we have. This system really lets us leverage that. And I do think that going forward, we're going to be able to make some significant progress on that front. So I'll tell you with humility, I have a lot to learn about the nuts and bolts of this. I've worked in other aspects of state government. I've worked in other sectors, but there will be a lot to learn. I'm thankful that there are such wonderful people here, many of who I've had the opportunity to meet right now, who I think can give me the ropes, teach me what we need to know, and then hopefully leverage that going forward with the relationships across state government to really put the system in the place that it needs to be. And I think all of us know that it can be, and really serve the people of Louisiana the best. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll be happy to work with you in the future.
Thank you very much. At this time, I reference the updates and encourage board members to review the information provided. Ask if there is any additional business to come before the board. But before we go further, I'd like to ask Ms. Poole whether there are any public comments.
No, sir, we don't have any public comments at this time.
Just like to make a few announcements. Annual mandatory LCTCS board training schedule for 2025 was sent out to all board members via email. Mandatory trainings are due as soon as possible. This must be completed by December 31st, 2025. Please let Ms. Poole know if you need any further assistance. Fall commencement schedule has been emailed to all board members. Please RSVP to Ms. Poole if you plan to attend any of these listed commencements, and I would strongly encourage, if you could attend one or more, but at least one, please try to do it. It's an experience that if you have not attended, you won't forget. I don't consider myself a softie, but I will tell you, I well up every time. Because you see people with motherboards and regalia who their families weren't expected to, many of them, to ever see those. Some were, because we have people that go all across the board to get multiple alphabets behind their names, and we have some people that weren't expected to be where they are. So it is truly touching, those commencements. Lastly, I would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I request a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Supervisor Mount, seconded by Supervisor McConduit.
Merry Christmas.
There it is.